Man, oh man, I gotta say, man, season two for this season has been amazing. A lot of great season two follow ups that I've been talking about for the past week or so now, and the new Panty stock with Garterbelt is no exception to this ruling. This second season was so amazing, so badass that I've even made a video talking about this prior, defending one of the episodes, which again might be someone saying that this could be considered the weakest episode, but I already explained about why that episode is still like a classic, and I think it's still one of the stronger shows of this franchise. But anywho, new Pain Star with Garbell wrapped up today, just like the Seven Prince Isekai anime that just dropped not too long ago. And it's really good. It's amazing. I just want to cut through the bullshit and just talk about this show more or less. And you know what's funny is that I wasn't even anticipating. I straight up could not anticipate we would ever get a new season of Pain Stalking with Garbell ever. Because believe it or not, I honestly grew up with the show growing up. I've heard about the show numerous times and how this is considered one of the most underrated shows in the franchise because this show was actually came out back in 2010. Believe it or not, yes, 2010. About 15 years old now, as of me recording this video. 15 years of paying stuff with Garterbelt season one. And I remember the show pretty fondly because there's so many iconic scenes and moments that really made the show stand out like a sore thumb. But what unfortunately put a lot of people, and many myself at the time, was the infamous ending that Panty and Stalker with Garbo ended on, where it's such great high action momentum with some really good animation for 2010 standards that really put a lot of animes at the time to shame. But the ending of the show was really what kind of unfortunately derailed the franchise to like, man, it kind of came up with one of the most disappointing and most confusing endings that came out of nowhere. And for a while, it felt like we would never ever get a sequel to the show because it ended on such a weird cliffhanger that at that point, again, considering this 15-year gap, you would think that we would never get a second season of Penny Star with Belt ever again. And of course, with how much anime has been progressing, the popularity of how anime in the modern day has become, it felt like Penny and Stalking with Belt was going to be left behind to the wayside and just be left in the past. But no, 15 years later, Studio Trigger comes in and they got the second season to it. And right off the bat, when this second season starts, it immediately addresses the controversial ending cliffhanger that happened in the first season and acts like, okay, after that, we're just going to go in here and just continue like nothing happened. Like, hey, this is just a second season, a normal second season. And my god, this show is incredible. It is amazing. Again, if you love Studio Trigger, if you love what their anime has been pumping out with as of late, you're going to obviously love this show. If you love Penny and Stalking the first season, you're going to obviously love the show. This Studio Trigger was able to unironically not only make sure that they keep the main aesthetics of what made Penny and Stalking special in the first place, but also simultaneously just refine it for the modern day now. Because now in the modern day, there isn't a lot of shows that get a lot of love and attention like shows like this that are probably in the underground scene that's popping off. And this second season is absolutely incredible. Again, Stalking and Panty are kicking ass, taking names, saying every profanity out of the fucking wazoo to literally get people triggered per se. And it's so good. There are a ton of episodes I could go into, but it's hard to dive into every single episode as again the pacing of the show is super fast. It's really all over the place, but in a really great way where it all leads to like this big climatic, gigantic, epic finale of a battle. And I cannot praise the show enough with how amazing the voice acting is still in the second season. The animation again is super out there. It's amazing. They're even using like live fucking props. I'm not even joking. Using live actual props to depict whenever our main protagonists and such defeat enemies throughout the whole show. And it's so over the top and really outlandish that it makes you wonder like what the hell are you watching half the time? Like half the time I thought I was watching like a Cartoon Network show from back in the early 2000s or something. It's crazy, but it really captures it so well. The music still stands out really well to this day. Again, if you know Penny and Stalking season one, they're known for their music, and second season's no different. The numerous newer characters that get introduced to the show actually really do play a pretty good and interesting role to what is to come as the story progresses through. And Again, I guess I'll shout it out right here, right now. Like from polyester to polyester, these two are like the biggest new characters that get introduced in the show and play a really big role in this second season. And I absolutely love their performances. They're absolutely incredible, and they're like complete mirror opposites to Panty and Stock in every way, shape, or form. And I thought like with sorry with Scanty and Esox, I thought that their polar opposite characteristics between Panty and Stockman was great. But nah, when we got these two boys, holy shit, they just elevated that personality to a whole new level of like, man, I'm just, oh god. And of course, we have Briefs and Garter, and they're still doing their thing, still doing what they know, what they love, and what they're known for from the first season, more or less. Um, and also, I guess I like to shout out another character in the show that actually plays a pretty big role in this season, but unfortunately doesn't get a lot of love, and I've noticed that, and that's Gunsmith Bitch. I'm not even joking, that is her name. Her character design is so goddamn badass that, like, every time she's on screen, I just wish there was more of her, man. I wish there was more of her because I know she is super important throughout the progression of certain episodes and certain little moments that our characters go through. And the fact that as of me announcing this today, I guess, we have potentially a new season coming around the corner after this 2 episode finale that happened today is really leaving me like super pumped up for a potential third season because it's really good. And what Studio Trigger did here was able to really put the love and care to this show and really just showcase the unfiltered and un unapologetic, just un God, it's just unpredictable with what happens with each new episode, and they did so well. Again, at the end of the day, if you're the type of person that's like maybe too sensitive with a lot of the sexy, grotesque humor that happens throughout the show, I guess that this may not be your cup of tea at the end of the day. But honestly, I don't give a fuck. This is really good. I feel like this is like a must watch for anyone that loves the first season and just loves to watch people just swear and fight gods and angels and ghosts and all this other shit that happens in this show. It's really great, and it all leads to like this amazing climactic ending that in a way is a little bit similar to how the first season ended, but in a much better satisfactory cliffhanger in my opinion. So yeah, overall this anime is really great. This second season is kicking ass, taking names again. I know I could talk more about each episode, but like I said, there's so much happening within each of these episodes that I could be here all fucking day talking about every little episode that happens in the show, especially the 2 episode finale that happened today, which is absolutely mind boggling and just was able to perfectly execute itself so well. So yeah, I think undoubtedly this is without a doubt one of the best animes of the year. I can't really say anything about it. I think that as a result of how amazing the second season has been, I honestly want to reflect on the first season of Penny Star with Garterbelt because I know it's been not that. It feels super long since I remember watching the first season, but as of right now, the second season of Penny Star with Garterbelt, I would have to give this like a light 8 on this thing. It is remarkably incredible. Studio Trigger is still crushing it again as they've always been, and I just think that from this point forward, it's pretty much going to keep going up with this franchise. Should we ever get a third season of the show sometime in the future? And yeah, just want to talk about this a little bit. That's it. See you on the next one. Later.